Good morning. So first of all, I'd like to thank GovSat and the Grand Duchy. I mean, this is a phenomenal event. I'm sure it's been said several times this morning, but it's amazing to see how this has grown over the past 9 years, as being the 9th event. And I was fortunate enough to be here in the early days of the event, and it's just so marvelous to see everyone here, and it's become a center of thought leadership. And it's a privilege to be here and share some good news and some bad news, and good news with you this morning. So I've been told that we're running a little bit late, but the doors will be sealed until I'm done. I think I've only got 34 slides to work through this morning for you all. I'm kidding, of course. So, but I will try and get through this a little bit quicker so that we can enjoy a lunch together. So, I'm here to talk about a little bit of protected SATCOM and electronic warfare and some considerations there. And privileged again to speak on behalf of CTech, a wonderful partner here for NATO, which we'll talk about. And but before we get into solutions, we got to talk about why this is important, why it matters now, and just get right into it. All right. So we didn't coordinate our presentations, and so we're talking about sovereign SATCOM before, and it's under attack, right? So, and I think for most of us, it's happening in ways that we didn't understand until now, until most recently in the past few years with our ongoing events in Ukraine, and really globally, we're seeing some significant activity around the world. So 70% to 6%. This isn't a change in the stock market after talk of tariffs. This isn't a change recently in your Bitcoin portfolio. This is a GPS-guided munitions weapons accuracy in Ukraine. So this isn't. We're talking about Excalibur rounds, precision munitions, the backbone of modern warfare. 70% to 6% accuracy degradation. It's not speculated, it's documented, a U.S. House Armed Services Committee testimony out of 2024. January this year, Iran successfully disrupted Starlink. The constellation, I'm super excited. I've got a Starlink terminal myself. I use it quite often, especially when I'm backpacking and going out in the wilderness. And we know most of our militaries have adopted it for training and sometimes for operational use, perhaps. And we always thought it was unjammable because of its architecture or resistant to jamming. But we've seen 80% packet loss in Iran with mobile mounted truck jammers, Russian supplied equipment. And unlike Ukraine, where SpaceX pushed software updates within hours and days, in Iran, the jamming persisted for weeks. In the Baltic region, 820 documented GPS interference incidents in Latvia alone in 2024. Lithuania is now reporting 20 times more incidents than the previous year. And we know where it's coming from. The IT Radio Regulations Board, geolocated interference to Moscow, Kaliningrad, Pavlovka. Two different satellite operators in the same conclusion. The threat's real, and it's not our assessment. The ITU-RRB has put out several documented examples. Luxembourg, Sweden, France, Ukraine, the Netherlands, all filed formal interference complaints with the ITU in their June 2024 session. Eutelsat, SiriusSat, broadcasting satellite services at multiple orbital positions. This isn't just GEO. These are European sovereign assets that are being interfered with. And the interference has been internationally acknowledged and traced. This is not a theoretical threat. It's documented, it's acknowledged, and it's directed at Europe. So what happens when SATCOM fails? Command goes blind, Headquarters lose contact with their deployed forces. Responders lose coordination. First responders and those exfiltrating battlefield casualties lose connectivity exactly in the moments when it matters most. Weapons miss targets. Precision-guided munitions become expensive ballistic projectiles. Drones lose contact. ISR feeds go dark. Situational awareness collapses. For me, this is a little bit more hits close to home. One of my friends died in combat in 2017, and our communications, mostly SATCOM based, we went through the whole pace, primary, alternate, contingency, and we were operating on emergency channels over UHF TACSAT to retrieve him. This isn't a hypothetical situation, it's happening now. But there is a solution. For decades, NATO has had a standard that exactly addresses this situation, and it gives us a way to keep communications operational when adversaries are actively trying to break them. Electronic Protection Measures, EPM. This isn't new technology that's waiting to be proven. This is military-grade resilience. It's been the backbone of protected communications for years. My former time at NCIA, we use this on a daily basis. It's anti-jam, so your communications continue under active attack. Low probability of intercept, where the adversary doesn't even know that you're there, or you're able to move through frequencies in unpredictable ways with a low probability of detection. You have transec and network security, so that your layered encryption protects both transmission and the network. The interoperability standard is STANAG 4606. Frequency hopping, that defeats jamming. Automatic synchronization, multi-band operation, all platform types. The technology exists, the standard exists. The question is, who can deliver it with flexibility and maximum value? CTech Secure Arcs. NATO NCIA gold medalist. Contract awarded in 2024. In October of 2024, NATO's own Communication Information Agency awarded CTech a competitive contract for SATCOM ground segment EPM systems. It's not a trial, not a study, a contract. That's why gold medalist, I think fitting in with the Olympics theme this time of year, fits. It's tested against the most demanding standard of protected MIL-SATCOM and is validated by NATO, and the contract was awarded in 2024. So this is a snapshot of the modem. STANAG 4606, Edition 3 Plus compliant, software-defined architecture to support future upgrades. The data rates from 20 kilobits per second to 64 megabits per second, operating in S-band, SHF, and EHF. Automatic synchronization with no clear text required. OFHMA waveform that's used, it defeats jamming, integrates transec, network encryption, and because it is software defined, it's able to be upgradable for evolving threats. The first delivery is actually started, but I think we start the testing this next month in March of 2026. Before we kind of dive in a little bit into the EPM capability specifically, I do want to talk about the pedigree of the company. And for me, this is a little touching as well. I first met CTech during my time at NATO, and I was a little ignorant of Turkish culture and the tech capabilities of not just the industry, but the nation. And these are just a few highlights of how their technology is being used right now for the Turkish military. So over 350,000 flight hours of real-world ISR missions with SATCOM connectivity, 6 different types of unmanned surface vessels for KU-band SATCOM on the move. This is especially important for unmanned surface technologies that are exploding globally around the world to support different types of mission sets. Land mobile, so 4x4 armored vehicles, EPM-protected KU SATCOM on the move communications. It's a company that lives in the SATCOM domain in sea, air, and land. And building on this foundation, they've grown their EPM technologies. So in 2012, one of the first early instantiations of the technology with Turkish Armed Force platforms operating in X-band. In 2023, Edition 3, which they upgraded to, has the same platforms, the same operational environment with the same kind of protection with the new capabilities. And then Edition 3 Plus, which is coming out and working through this next month under the NATO EPMS project in the first delivery, which is super exciting. So it's a technology that's ready for European requirements. It's not just a promise for readiness, it's a track record of delivery. And this really is built for GovSatCom. So Commissioner Kubilius he talked about this last month and outlined what GovSatCom requires: guaranteed access, protection, sovereignty, and operational flexibility. SecureArcs addresses every single one of those requirements: resilient crisis connectivity, LPI, LPD signaling, European capability with NATO interoperability, CSDP missions, border surveillance, and crisis response. The satellites are being launched with this pooled capacity. It's being pooled, but a constellation is only as secure as its weakest link. And that link, we believe, is the ground segment. So to close, it's your SATCOM, protected. So I encourage you to visit with us. We believe the path is clear. You need to assess your vulnerabilities, require STANAG 4606 to be interoperable with the NATO nations, plan EPM integration, and engage with CTech. We built a powerful technology that we believe Europe needs. The only question is whether Europe is ready to use it. I'll be at the CTech booth, and I'd welcome conversations along with Mustafa Düzgün, and we look forward to hearing from each of you, most of you, and enjoy your lunch. Thank you.